Hey, welcome inside another edition of TinChattin, everyone, alongside my main man, Mike Moss, play-by-play voice, radio voice of the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. My name is Peter Hood, sitting outside Mike on a beautiful, beautiful day here in Fort Wayne at Parkview Field, and this is one of those days that you wish the Tin Caps were in town on a night like this, because this ballpark would be pretty packed tonight if they were. Yeah,
you know, we're outside in front of the Orchard Team store, and we look around us. Combination of blue skies, some white clouds, some dark clouds, but I don't think there's any chance of rain. Much cooler temperatures than we've been accustomed to, and a bit of a breeze. I mean, this is perfect weather for any outdoor sport. And it's too bad we haven't had this weather all season long with the crummy weather we had April, May, and early June, and then we had that stretch in July where it was actually late August weather. In July, temperature in the 90s for a number of days. But regardless of the weather, the Tin Caps aren't here. They're on their final road trip of the season, and tonight they're hoping to salvage the final game of a three-game series in Dayton. A couple of tough losses the last two nights. And then after the game tonight, they'll get on the bus and they'll head from Dayton, Ohio to suburban Grand Rapids, Michigan. 4 games with the West Michigan Whitecaps, the team with the worst overall record in the 16-team Midwest League. And then they come back home for the final homestand of the season, 3 games against South Bend, followed by 3 games against Lansing. And those 2 teams are fighting, along with Bowling Green, for the 2 playoff spots in the Eastern Division and the Midwest League in the second half. So it's still going to be an interesting, 10, 11 days or so. But in all honesty, Peter, the hopes that we've been hoping for all year long, meaning can the Tin Caps make it back to the postseason for what would have been the 9th time in 11 years, the magic number starting play tonight is 2. Any combination of South Bend wins or Fort Wayne losses totaling 2, and Tin Caps are officially eliminated from the playoffs in 2019.
Yeah, so the playoffs probably no longer a possibility for this team. Mathematically still alive, but again, 10 games back with 11 to go. But Mike's still plenty of good things to talk about. And, you know, at the end of the day, obviously, every team that is in this league wants to make the playoffs. That's the goal for every team at the beginning of the season. But at the end of the day, it's about these guys developing here so they can get to the higher level, that being High A Lake Elsinore or AA, AAA, whatever the next step is from Fort Wayne. And have seen quite a few guys over the last week or so that have gotten the call based on the success they've had here in Fort Wayne. Tyler Benson gets moved up. Lee Solomon, a guy we've seen here pretty much all season, gets moved up. Mason Fox wasn't here very long, but was dominant out of the bullpen in the time he was here. He gets the call as well. And Mike, good to see those 3 guys in particular, their hard work pay off, and they're now on to bigger and better things.
Let's go in reverse order, and let's talk about Mason Fox. And yes, he was a little older than most of the players on the team, but he pitched a total of 8 innings. In that 8-inning span, no runs, 3 hits, no walks, 17 strikeouts, and I believe it was 3 saves.
It's pretty good.
And that's awfully good for 8 innings of work, and he got the promotion. Lee Solomon, the 22-year-old out of Columbus, Ohio, and what a year he had defensively at first base, listed at 5'10". I'm not so sure he was 5'10". He learned to play that position. On a number of occasions, he had played second base, and there were 3 occasions where he came in to pitch and mop-up duty. And so Lee deserved the promotion to San Antonio. And then Tyler Benson, now he batted for the most part nearly or over 300, dipped below just a little bit when he left here. But he was a perfect 7 of 7 in the stolen base department. And it was a solid left-handed bat, adequate, a little better than adequate speed. And we wish him the best. He's at the AA level. So those 3 players, they deserve the promotions. They put in the time and the effort. And obviously there might be a few others, but we're getting near the end of the season. It's a bittersweet feeling right now, knowing that these guys have given it their all, and unfortunately in 2019, it's just not quite enough to get into the postseason. We can always say better luck next year, but for some of the guys in this team, there may not be a next year. Who knows what's going to happen? There could be a trade. Things can happen in spring training. Who knows what? but at least we've had the opportunity to see them here in Fort Wayne, and that certainly speaks for something.
And for now, though, that'll do it for this week's edition of TinChattin. We thank you, as always, for making us a part of your Friday night. And we got 2 left, so we'll see you back here next week. And then what in all likelihood will be the season wrap-up edition of TinChattin coming up in a couple weeks. For now, though, he's Mike Maz, radio play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne Tin Caps. My name's Peter Hood. Please stick around because there's much more coming up in the locker room right after this break.